When I started losing my vision, I thought my life was over. And I told these kids that. And who would have thought, a year or two later, with a lot of hard work, a lot of blood, a lot of sweat, and a lot of tears, tons of tears, thinking that things were not going to come together, believing that they were, getting faced with rejections day after day after day, all the stresses that go along with just being legally blind. And I know that there are so many kids right now dealing with so many issues that I wanted to give them a little bit of comfort, knowing that I struggled and I survived. I remember my first Christmas going blind. I couldn't read anyone's cards that they gave me. I didn't know which gift was mine, and that's when it really kind of hit home. So when I went into the schools, I really had an understanding of what these kids needed to hear. And I told them that it got bad for me. It got really bad. And if it weren't for two friends that came by my house one day unexpectedly, I probably wouldn't be in front of them speaking. I thought my life was over, when really it was just beginning. I hear them talking behind my back often. Chris isn't going to be able to do this. He's not a cyclist. He's not a long distance. He's not an ultra distance guy. He's a football player. He's a bodybuilder. He's short distance. He's a sprinter. He has no money. He has no contacts. This is never going to happen. And hearing those things, not only did they cut deep, but they also did something to me inside. It's like they turned a switch off, and for the first time in my life, people doubted my abilities. They never doubted them when I had my perfect vision. But once I had a vision issue, everyone thought I was useless. You can imagine at 23, nothing can prepare you for something like this. I was losing my independence, and that was a very difficult thing for me to swallow. It was a very difficult time for me, a very dark time. The nights are the worst. Everyone's sleeping, you can't sleep, and all you're thinking about is, what is going to become of you? I choose not to focus on that day anymore. But I believe that in order for me to have been able to go on to do the things that I have been able to do since, I had to hit rock bottom in order to establish a solid foundation on which to rebuild my life on. A friend of mine mentioned to me, look at cycling. There's a two-seater bikes now, and they've come a long way, because I wanted to do something to give back to my vision loss. I wanted to either create awareness or at least raise some money so that one day when they do find a cure, I can at least hold my head up high when I'm standing in line for that. It was an incredible experience across Canada, meeting kids who had far greater challenges than I ever could have imagined. Everyone called me a fitness freak. Everyone called me a gym freak. Everyone called me a cycling freak. Everyone called me a football freak. And thanks to my buddy Shane, my animator, we created this character that embodied all of that. Everything that you could be passionate about. That's a freak to me. It's a good thing. We found so much joy and fun creating that friends and family said, create other characters. So we had a beach freak, which was our original guy, Chuck. And then we went to Pierre, snow freak. And then all of a sudden, this freak of families began to evolve. We had a football freak, we had a hockey freak, we had a freak of nature. In fact, we even had a freak little puppy. And it was funny because all of these stories and all of these characters were all just growing inside my head. And the best way I could get them out was on paper. Putting them on t-shirts and watching people wear those t-shirts around the city, that in itself was such an exciting feeling. And now I have the opportunity and the ability, taking all of my skills, to get this thing out and introduce it to the world. I really believe in this cartoon. I love creativity. I love being creative. I love the joy and the fun behind it. and it embodies everything that I am. Everybody's got a little freak in them. Just find your passion and find your freak.